Hey skaters, Nate from Eskatehub here, and today we're doing the Maxfind Max4 Pro electric skateboard review. And I have to say, surprisingly, it has impressed me. Why? Well, because previously Maxfind have been known for producing cheap and low quality e-boards, but that has now changed with the arrival of the Max4 Pro. In this review, we will take an in-depth look at the Max4 Pro and put it to the test to see its real-world range, top speed, acceleration, braking, and hill climbing abilities. So stick around and let's see if the Maxfind Max4 Pro is the best electric skateboard for you. So here it is, the Maxfind Max4 Pro. It starts at about $649, and Maxfind has a bunch of other battery options on there. You can get an extra 1 battery or an extra 2 battery. The links for those are in the description if you wanted to see the prices of those. So here it is, nice little safety warning on the top, nice and coarse. We all read those, don't we? Wear a helmet and goggles for protection. That's one thing I always endorse, wear a helmet. It has saved me on multiple occasions. So it's got a very minimal logo design on top of the deck, which I like, and a little arrow to remind you which way is going forward. So let's get her out of here. There she is. Actually looks really nice. Feels very nice too. Let's just put her there for a sec while we look at the other pieces. So we've got a little user manual. Oh, this has got all of the other products. We've got all the other products that are coming out sometime soon or are already available. Keep an eye out for the FF Plus series. That looks really cool. It's an all-terrain board. I'll be doing a review of that. This is the instruction manual. We've got little Allen key, the charger. They say it's a fast charger. It is 42 volts, 2 amps. So that sounds like an 80-watt charger. We'll see how fast it really charges. T-tool, it's white, another little Allen key, which always fall out. And holy, this is the micro USB cable to charge the remote, but I'm not sure if you can see. I'll get a close-up of this for you to show you, but it's a OnePlus charging cable. I had the OnePlus One, the very first phone that they released way back when. And man, it's just so surprising they've got that cable. I wonder if they're getting the seconds out of that factory or what the deal is there. Very interesting. And we've got the remote. Massive remote. It's the same as the Team GH20 Mini, which means it's probably got the latest Hobbywing ESC in it, which we'll go over in a sec. That looks like it's about it. So let's put all this aside. All right. This is looking pretty good. A lot different to what the Maxfind boards used to be like. If you remember them, they were very cheap and plasticky, not great quality. So this is awesome to see that Maxfind have stepped up their game and are starting to produce something that is pretty legitimate. So it's an 8-layer Canadian maple deck with a carbon fiber finish on top. So the Canadian maple is going to give it a really good flex to it, and that carbon fiber should create some durability so that the board doesn't snap. Interestingly, the enclosure is one gigantic enclosure at the back, so it's going to make it very back heavy, because usually you see most boards have the separated enclosures, one for the ESC, one for the battery, but interesting to see it's all in one. It's a metal enclosure, which is really nice, and it seems to have a quick swap battery thing here, which is just twist this thing open. Oh, easy done. Slide it open. And the battery just pops straight out like this. That is actually easy. I can see the ESC is in there, tucked away, which is nice. The easy access to the battery. That's really handy. They say that it is IP65 waterproof, but I struggle to believe that that's true considering there's no gasket around the sides. It's just metal on metal. Screw it back up. And that was really easy. I like that a lot. The wheels, they're 96 millimeters, and I'm not sure what the durometer is on them, but they seem to be quite squishy, very slick. I'd be interested to see how the grip goes on them. They've got the stone wash cut on the hubs at the back. They are a lot harder than the wheels at the front. Although there is about a centimeter of PU between the wheels and the motors, which is nice. That should give a lot more shock absorption to the ride. You can get replaceable PU sleeves on the hub motors, so when or if your wheels wear out, Maxfind have them on their website for about 30 bucks. We've got 45-degree trucks, and I was surprised to see on their website that they are forged and CNC'd, which means that that's a premium truck manufacturing process, which is usually reserved for the high-end skate truck manufacturers. The forged means it's really strong, and the CNC means that it's really precise. I'll be very interested to see how that rides. You've got barrel and cone bushings. The trucks are super loose so far, and the riser pad is about 1/3 of an inch, and it looks to be protruding out underneath the truck. I think these trucks are stuck down a little bit too tight. I might fix those up before we go out for the first ride. And these motors are simple, supposed to be plug and play, but there's not much room to plug. Oh, there you go. While we're looking at the motors, they are 2x 750 watt hub motors, and they claim that they can do 0 to 26 miles per hour, which is their top speed, in about 3 to 5 seconds. Now they are big claims, Maxfind, so of course we're gonna be testing that a little bit later on in this video. And they're using the Hobbywing ESC. Yeah, we can tell that it's the latest Hobbywing ESC because when we turn the remote on, you can see the Maxfind logo pops up on top. So that's on. How do we turn the battery on? We turn the board on here, just a single click, and yeah, it is paired. Mode 1, Mode 2, 25 kilometers an hour. Mode 3, 35 kilometers an hour. And mode 4, 40 kilometers an hour. So we'll see how fast it can really go when we do our tests a little bit later on. Let's turn her off for now. Oh yeah, the battery, let's crack open the battery again so we can take a closer look at the specs. So I'm pretty sure they're running Samsung cells, 4.4 amp hour with a capacity of 158.2 watt hours, lithium ion batteries. That's all the battery information we've got. So you can't take it on a plane traveling, but they do claim that it's got a 15-mile range on it. A battery that size maybe could do that. Of course, we're going to test it as always a little bit later on. So that's pretty much it. They're all the specs of the Maxfind Max4 Pro board. Last thing to do is take it out for a spin and do our tests so we can see what it's like in the real world. Before we head out and do that, if you think I'm doing a pretty good job, then slam that like button and make sure you subscribe to join the Eskate crew because I've got a ton more electric skateboard reviews coming out soon, 2 of which are over here in the background. So yeah, enough yabbering. Let's take this thing out for a spin. All right, here it is, the maiden voyage. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head out for a range test. And while we're doing that range test, what I think we'll do is we'll do the hill climb test. We'll do the top speed test, we'll do the acceleration test, we'll do the whole lot. And I'm not sure if you can see that. No, that's almost impossible, but 0 kilometers on the board. I'm putting it in mode 4 straight away because I think this is how I'm gonna ride. This board is not as flexible as I expected it to be. I don't know how that wind's gonna go. That's why I'm listening to it right now. So I'm gonna go for a ride and check back in with you bit by bit. It is super windy. It's starting to rain a little bit. So far, so good. It's quite responsive on the thumb wheel. That'll be thanks to the Hobbywing ESC, obviously. I went up one quite steep hill. I didn't film it because there was so many cars around. It would have been just so noisy. And I am going to my favorite hill in my area, which is quite steep. It's about 10 to 15% hill grade, depending on whereabouts in the hill you go to. So I'll film that there. It's getting pretty windy, so I'll see you over there. I've got 3 out of 5 bars left on the remote, and I've done 4.7 kilometers. So keep that in mind when I'm doing this hill test, sorry. I'm starting at the bottom now near the roundabout, coming all the way up. It's about 200 meters or so, and around about 10 to 12% hill grade. So I'll see you at the bottom. So I just made it down to the bottom of the hill. Here it is. Hopefully you can see that in the sun. So I'll take you up with me and I'll tell you how fast it's doing as we go up. So I'm kind of starting on the flat here, and steepness doesn't pick up until about halfway. So I'm on paved concrete, so there's going to be a few bumps and cracks here and there. So I just started picking up the steepness, and I'm doing about 24, 22. The speed's dropping, sitting around 20 kilometers an hour. 20 kilometers an hour, it's not too bad for hub wheels. It's going to get a bit steeper here, and it's going to drop down 19 kilometers. I can really feel it slowing down now, but I mean, it's still rolling up. It's not dying on me. It's down to 17 kilometers an hour. This has got to be the steepest part of the hill. 16 kilometers an hour, 17. So, I mean, it's getting there. It's going to make it up the hill. That's not that bad, really. It's not bad at all. It's hub motors, remember? Hub motors are not going to be as powerful. Hopefully you can hear me in this mask. I just completely forgot that I'm wearing this mask. But we gotta do it for the community, do it for your grandparents. That's pretty much it. We made it. I'm starting to pick up pace now. Cool. All right, I'm gonna keep riding and I'll catch up with you guys soon, and we'll do a top speed test. Whoa. This wind is really picking up and it's starting to rain. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it. We'll see how we go. We're at 9.1 kilometers with 1 bar left. It's bucketing now. All right, yesterday was a little bit of a write-off. So today, as you can see, this temperature is phenomenal. So we'll start again. We'll do the range test from square one. We'll head out, we'll do top speed and acceleration tests again. The hill climb test we did yesterday was pretty good, so we'll keep that one. And I'm also gonna do the braking today. I'll show you guys the braking. So literally at 0.1 kilometers so far, full battery. I'll check in with you soon. So we'll do the brake test right here. Can you see those little cat's eyes just over here? I want to be coming off this side of the screen at about 20 kilometers an hour, and I'm going to slam on the brakes at those cat's eyes, and then we're going to step it out with this little thingy that I just bought, which will give us the exact braking distance from 20 kilometers an hour. All right, wish me luck. M&Ms. Perfectly good M&Ms. Thank you. Eleven point 11.4 meters. That was at 20 kilometers an hour. I want to test it at 30 kilometers an hour, see how it goes. What are you? 18.8 meters. Well, at least the braking was smooth. There was no jolting. I wasn't going to get thrown off ever. And I think 10 meters is a fairly reasonable time to come to a complete stop at 20 kilometers an hour. You know, most laws, the speed limit for electric skateboards is about 25 kilometers an hour. So I think that's a fairly safe braking distance to get yourself out of most trouble if you're on the ball and looking out for any danger that's around. All right, let's get back to that range test, shall we? All right, this looks like a pretty good spot to do the top speed test and the acceleration test while we're at it. It's long and smooth and the conditions are perfect. Find say that it can get up to its top speed in about 3 to 5 seconds. So let's give that a crack and see what it's really capable of doing. All right, we're on the Maxfind long straight. You ready, set, go. 27, 30 kilometers an hour, 35 kilometers an hour, 36, 36 kilometers an hour. Now, just to make sure that that's not going downhill or whatever, I'm going to do the same thing going down this way as well. All right, let's go. $33 kilometers an hour, 34, 35, 36. Let's get down low. 36. Oh, 37 almost. It's turning over between 36 and 37. Oh, I'm calling that 36 kilometers an hour. That's its top speed. All right, I want to keep riding at more of a casual pace to finish off this range test. I'll check in with you guys soon. Almost got it. that is pretty much it for the range test, guys. I'm literally cruising at 10 kilometers an hour, full throttle. So I ended up getting, wait for it, I ended up getting 13.8 kilometers. All right, we'll head home and we'll do a debrief there. So there we have it. That is the Maxfind Max4 Pro. What did we cover? We did the range test. We ended up getting 13.8 kilometers. Keep in mind, on that range test, I did the top speed and acceleration and the braking. So, and I also did a lot of carving. So that could also affect the range. Well, it definitely will affect the range. If you're gonna ride at a much more casual pace of about 20 kilometers an hour for the entire ride, then you might be able to get more than 15 kilometers, maybe 16, 17, especially if you're a lot lighter. I am 90 kilos. The acceleration was a tiny little bit of a letdown. They said that you can get from 0 to the top speed in about 3 to 5 seconds. I don't think it managed to get to the top speed in 5 seconds. It probably took about 8 to 10 seconds. So, I mean, it's still okay acceleration. It's nice and smooth. I mean, the people who are gonna buy this electric skateboard aren't looking for super fast acceleration. They just want an electric skateboard that they can commute to work or to school on, or just go out and have a generally fun ride, which I think this board is suited for. It's a commuter board. It's for not much else other than that. I will mention that the deck is super stiff. It's not flexible really at all. So it's great for sliding. I did a little bit of sliding on it. I'm not a good slider. I'm not gonna pretend that I am. On the really smooth roads, of course, I didn't feel any vibrations, but as soon as we went on to some more questionable roads where the tarmac was a little bit more rough, then I started to feel the vibrations in the road. It's because it's not very flexible, the wheels are quite a little bit stiff, and those riser pads are basically squished against the trucks. That made for those vibrations being able to seep through into your feet. After a while, you get used to it. You're left looking down a little bit more often than you usually would to make sure that your feet are still on the board. But every time I did, my feet were still right there where they were supposed to be. I think this grip tape's quite coarse, which helps with that a lot. So is it worth it? $650 US? Well, let me put it this way. The X-Wave Flex, one of the best budget electric skateboards on the market at the moment, is also $650. So Maxfind has that to compete with. In saying that, not everybody wants a flexible deck. If they want a more of a stiff deck, then there's really only a handful of boards that offer that in this price range. In that case, the Max4 Pro does a pretty good job. It lacks a little bit of range, but it does have that quick swap battery system, which is gonna make that whole range anxiety pretty much obsolete. You can carry as many batteries as you want in your backpack and just flip them out whenever you want. And it's got the latest Hobbywing ESC in it, so you're paying for that premium, which in my opinion is totally worth it. A good ESC can literally almost save your life. If you've got a shitty ESC, you're gonna have all sorts of problems, brakes are gonna disconnect, and you're gonna find yourself in a world of trouble. So I'm gonna call it there. That's been the Maxfind Max4 Pro electric skateboard review. It's been a little bit different today. I had a bit of fun with it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please slam that thumb below and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any more electric skateboard reviews coming up in the future. And as always, if you've got any questions, just drop them down in the comments below. I answer every single one of those questions because it's my job to help you find the best electric skateboard that's right for your riding needs. All right, e-skaters, thanks for tuning in. As always, ride safe out there and I will see you soon.